Hi, it's Megs.
And Jax,
And this is Musing Over Mugs.
where we are fueled by books and chaos.
Welcome! So grab your mugs and muse with us as we muse over Happenstance.
Is that fucking whipped cream?
Yeah,
you bitch, chocolate. Did you make a hot chocolate? That's such a good idea.
I was like, I gotta get this like into the frame without her seeing it.
I
had came underneath the table to put it on.
Books and chaos, folks. Books and chaos. I'm
Welcome.
so jealous. She's got a hot chocolate.
She's got a hot Land O'Lakes deluxe hot chocolate with some whipped cream on top.
I'm a Swiss Miss kind of gal.
Listen, I'm just here for good hot chocolate. What do you got going on?
This is Trader Joe's winter tea. I haven't had it yet, so I have no idea if this is any good. So I will report back. I'm not going to sip it yet because it's scalding hot.
Okay. If and when I take a sip and it gets on my face and I don't see it on camera, please just let me know.
I will. I'll give you like a...
Thank you. No marshmallows, for those wondering, just whipped cream.
Tragic, truly.
I don't have any marshmallows in my house.
Well, that's your first mistake. You should always have marshmallows in the home.
No, because then I eat them.
What?
Fine. What do you mean, what? Do you not eat marshmallows?
I mean, I do, but like I have an aggressive amount of marshmallows in the home at all times. I feel like what happens is I buy them for s'mores in the summer, like 3 bags. And then we make s'mores maybe one time for 4 to 5 people. So then I have all those other marshmallows looming about. And then I buy more as Christmas comes. So I just always have a stockpile of marshmallows.
When we go glamping, I insist that we buy all of the s'mores making things. Brian hates s'mores. Hates them. So it is just me having an entire meal of s'mores.
As you should. That is your glamping trip. You should have your s'mores. Amazing.
My cholesterol does not agree, but it's fine.
Who cares about cholesterol? Chaos,
not
bitches.
Us. Not us. You know what we care about?
Books.
Happenstance
by Tessa Bailey.
So this just came out less than a month ago as we are recording this. And it is the new Tessa Bailey. It is a Why Choose. And let's do you want to jump in?
Let's jump in. I love it.
Do you want me to read the back of it?
You can read the back of it because I have a Kindle copy, so I don't have the actual.
So that's why you were giving me such a hard time. Because I pre-ordered this. It did not come in for like a week and a half after it was released.
I pre-ordered it and it showed up on my Kindle day of.
Yeah. No.
And I forgot that I pre-ordered it, went to buy it again, and it was like, you already own this. And I was like, oh, A+.
Go you.
Very exciting. I really want to try this tea.
Oh my god, this is just going to be a very messy episode.
Yep. Nope, that's still too hot.
All right, let's jump in. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Perfect. Okay.
No whipped cream on the face.
Perfect. I can feel it though. You ever feel like that sugar?
Yep.
And then you're just like,
there.
Yeah. It's great. It's awesome. All right. Chaos. Chaos. This is the epitome of books and chaos.
Yep. So we are.
Elise Brandeis has never won a Pulitzer, and she never will. That's so sad. At least not while she's delivering sandwiches at the Gotham Times, instead of working there as an actual reporter. Her only shot at seeing her byline in print is to prove to the no-nonsense managing editor that she has a nose for news, and she's got just the story to grab her elusive attention. Right after she delivers this turkey on ciabatta. Chasing down leads brings Elise to Roosevelt Island. But just when the trail of clues begins to take shape, she gets stuck, literally, on a cable car with 3 strangers who couldn't be more different. The uptight rugby coach, a construction worker, and a former adult film star she pretends not to recognize a little too well. Was that your dog?
What?
I just heard like a growl, and I was like, that's either your stomach or your dog.
I'm not confident which one it was, because she appears to be sleeping.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm hungry.
It's like, what was that? It's just like this low growl.
I didn't even notice it happen. I mean, it could have been the dog. She does sometimes growl in her sleep, so
it's fine. Okay.
She's cool though. I don't know.
At first, Elise wants nothing more than to be rescued ASAP. An hour later, everything has changed by pure happenstance. 4 separate journeys have collided into an intense, meaningful way. Suddenly, tangling their lives feels more impossible than winning that Pulitzer. Good thing is, Elise is too busy proving herself at work to consider 3 boyfriends. No one has time for that, even if they make giving in feel oh so right. But 3 heads are better than 1, and these loners will teach themselves to work together to win Elise over forever, and more importantly, to keep their dirty socks off her floor.
I can't tell you, like, I just have so many thoughts, and I want to preface this whole episode.
Spoiler warnings.
Yes, well, obviously
Spoiler.
Aside from that, we are going to tear into this, I feel like, because I loved it, you hated it. That being said, this does not diminish our love for Tessa Bailey in any way, shape, or form. She is, I've said it before and I will say it again, I feel like there were just things. I had many problems with the book. Megan had a lot more problems with the book. But those problems for me didn't ruin the book. I still loved it. Like, I feel like you're signing up for some things that just don't add up. Some, like, things are just, you're gonna have to glaze over a lot of things when reading a Tessa Bailey book. But it's still, I don't know, I tore through it. I loved this. I loved it. The spice was unbelievable, as it usually is. I mean, it's always a slightly cringe, but I just love it. So whatever. You know what? That's me.
It's fine.
I would have never picked it up if it wasn't for Tessa. Like, I would have never, this is my first Why Choose, and...
For those of you who don't know Why Choose, it is a trope of why choose one when you could have all 3.
Or any number. Is it specifically 3, or is it any...
No, I just did 3 because that's this book specifically. Yes. So let's dive into our main character, Elise. She is a...
drier than a piece of toast.
She...
that was... You go first.
So much there. Everybody in this book needs so much fucking
Everybody
therapy.
In all romances typically need therapy, unless they're written by Ellie Hazelwood.
Except for Tobias, because he's already in therapy, and he is the king.
He was the best, truly, of the group.
So we have Elise, who wants to do something, but she can't commit to anything, and she uses her upbringing as an excuse that she was a military brat, so she moved around. She didn't have, like, enough to put down roots and actually, like, see anything through, which is really just an excuse and not a good one. So she is our main female main character, wants to be a writer at the Gotham Times, chasing down a story about politics and corruption with the union, which don't even get me started on that bullshit. It's fine. She gets stuck on the tram coming back from Roosevelt Island to Manhattan with Tobias, the former adult porn star, who is in therapy, and we love him. He seems to be the only well-adjusted one because he understands that he needs to become a better person.
Yep.
There's also Banks, who is the uptight rugby coach, who just seems to have a connection with Elise. They just look at each other and know. Very, like, fated lovers, soulmates nonsense. And then there's Gabe.
Oh, just your face. Oh my god. So Gabe is the dumb one of the group. Elise has a soft spot for him. He's very like
annoying,
child-esque.
stupid.
Like, he just, like, for example, his main problem is that he was married to this...
just one.
I mean, there are several. He was married to this girl who, like, dated his brother in high school, but then they broke up, and then chose Gabe, but then ends up leaving Gabe for the brother, and they live fucking next door. Like, they get married, and they live next door, and Gabe's just like, I'm just gonna deal with this. And it's so sad. I'm like, sir, just get your life together. Like, move. Why wouldn't you move home? Like, you just tolerate so much shit from them. I don't understand it. But Elise has this, like, huge soft spot for him. My favorite is that he looks in Elise's direction, just gets a boner, and, like, is gonna come at any second, like, just from her breathing on him. It's
like, what is wrong with him? I just feel like there's so many things that he's got.
It's good. The tea is good.
It's good? Okay, perfect.
It's
we
a
love
little
this.
hot. I felt like I had a comment because I made the noise. I didn't mean to.
Seems like a Gabe noise. It's fine. Like, he's just
true.
dumb. He doesn't know how to have a conversation, doesn't know how to control his erection.
Which
Like,
at your
you're
age, sir, a
grown-ass
grown-ass
man.
adult, getting promoted on the job.
Like, he's almost like a puppy that's been kicked. Like, he'll just follow Elise around, like, hoping to, like, get her attention. And my big one of my biggest issues with him was, you know, he's the favorite, but it always seemed like a pity. Like, he's the favorite because
I could see
she
that.
pities him. Whether it's intentional or if it's just me, like, being like, why are you with this man? It just, ugh. There's Gabe.
There's Gabe. My biggest gripe, and like, again, most of these things I came to after finishing it and thinking about it. Like, when I was putting my review together, I was like, yeah, I don't really know. In the moment, I glazed over everything. Elise is so flat. I could not find a single remarkable thing about this woman that would cause anyone, let alone 3 complete strangers, to fawn over themselves immediately upon meeting her. Like, they were together for an hour, which I didn't even think it was an hour until you read the book back. But whatever. They're stuck there for an hour. They were now madly obsessed with this woman. They hunt her down at work to convince her that they should all be together.
That's the other thing. Gabe is like a perpetual thief.
Oh yeah, Gabe is a klepto. He is stealing shit left and right. He like stole her work ID, stole her actual ID,
tracked her phone.
Which, thank God for the tracking on the phone, but
the man needs to go to prison.
I don't know if he needs to go to prison. I don't think he's stealing anything big, but whatever. He is
stalking her.
He is stalking her. I couldn't fathom how they all magically not only fall in love with her and are willing to pursue this, but then also that 3 normally heterosexual monogamous men, one glance at this woman, an hour later, they are all willing to put aside their tendencies, right? They're just magically no longer jealous people, and they're all like willing to do this for Elise.
No, they're still jealous. It was after the second time that they all like had a date or whatever that they agreed to not be jealous of each other anymore. Which I'm like, True. That makes no sense.
But still, this is like a week-long relationship. I feel like the book went over like maybe a month at most, but I think it was closer to like a week or 2. And within that time frame, we're all willing to put aside our normal thoughts and issues to now go after this one woman. And then she's also willing to magically, after 30 years of 28, however old she is, like late 20s, early 30s, commitment phobe, like can't hold down a job, doesn't want to make friends with her roommate, who is also one of the best characters in the book, because it's easier for her to just shut down and not make relationships than to deal with her shit and like commit to someone or something. Suddenly is now dating 3 men.
But they're not really dating, they're just fucking.
No, they end up dating and they all get commitmented together.
Yes, but in the book, there is one date and it ends up with her and Tobias fucking on a roof. Has no cameras.
So many problems with this. One, how did you get on the roof? Any stadium I've ever gone to, locked access to any sort of roofs. 1. 2, cameras are literally everywhere. 3, you're outdoors. Like, how did no one hear you? Right? Like,
also, man. Like, you're on a roof. It's just dirt. Like, you're in the elements, but like worse because there's like,
and that's the place you picked to fuck the porn star. I just feel like you deserved better.
Oh my God, he deserved better. Because here's the thing about Spies. So their first like outing as a
quad.
It's the quad. So their first outing as a quad was to a gala, but it wasn't like a true like outing as a quad.
She was Gabe's date. And then the 2 of them tagged along.
And Tobias tagged along. They ended up at a hotel room. Tobias didn't sleep with her. Didn't fuck her. He was like, I'm here to please you, but I can't actually like...
He's like, I can't have... This is amazing. As the porn star, he's so well adjusted now that he's in therapy that he's like, I can't fuck you until you like me, because she kind of like hates, love hate. Yeah. Which is adorable and I love that. But like he knew, he was like, I can't have sex with you until you like me as a human being. Damn it.
Like, give me that story. I love that. And so they go to the stadium to watch Banks coach his rugby team. And then he realizes that she actually does like him as a person. He's like, great, let's do this.
Right meow.
And the moment's gone. And then, I can't. This fucking book. There's no plot.
Nope.
There's no plot. It's
well, I mean,
just,
there's the whole corruption
there's
thing.
no plot.
No, there's just a storyline.
There is 10% plot.
And a lot of fucking.
And a lot of fucking. And the fucking, like, it's fine.
I thought it was pretty good.
But
I mean,
not,
I've never
like,
read a
super
Why Choose.
spicy. Like, the Katie Roberts were much more, like, spicy.
I wouldn't put them on the same level.
I wouldn't. I think
Okay.
Katie Roberts was much spicier. But there's no plot to this book. And maybe I'm unfairly judging it, but when I look at It Happened One Summer, even Hook, Line, and Sinker, certainly My Killer Vacation, like, there were plots there. It was spicy. It was fun. There was buildup. This was just like, it felt really flat to me compared to her other stuff.
And I'm going to pose a question to you. Do you think it is because those books were published through publishers and this one was self-published?
I don't think My Killer Vacation was.
No? That was... But still, Happened One Summer and Hook, Line, and Sinker were published through a publishing house versus this one was independently published, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this one was independently published, but I don't know if the other ones were or not.
I'm looking up.
Either way, it's still the same author.
True. I was just wondering if maybe like the publisher had pushed her to do more plotting.
She knows how to do plot.
She does.
She can do it very well.
She can.
This just didn't do it for me. Maybe it was the insta love, like it just happened too quickly and I wanted to see more of that build up. But I think the only character that was remotely fleshed out was Tobias. We got a little bit with Banks and his mom.
But Banks' mom, man, she sucks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't like her in the beginning because she wasn't supportive of Banks playing rugby as a child, couldn't bring herself to support his career in rugby. So she just never shows up, and that's like traumatizing to Banks. Horrifying. Great.
But like also like really bad parenting.
Really bad parenting. But then goes to the one game. She just shows up at the game, happens to be the same game that Elise and Tobias are at. Elise stumbles upon her, realizes it's the mom, makes a comment about whatever. Mom walks down to the booth, stays there, and now doesn't miss a fucking game. And I was like, I'm glad that you've gotten your shit together, but like...
Elise runs into Banks' mom, like, in the entryway to the stadium. And I don't know if you've, like, been in the stadium, but you can't see into those entryways deep, right? But Banks just happened to see them talking. And I was like, listen.
I was picturing it more... Maybe I'd missed the entrance. I was thinking, like, again, this is some New York stadium. I haven't been in a New York stadium, but the Boston stadiums.
This one was in New Jersey.
Oh,
it was a whole thing that she didn't realize it was New Jersey.
Yep, glazed over that. Again, I was here for the spice. I was picturing it more when you're in that kind of like entryway into the stands, like not to the stadium.
No, that's what I'm talking about. But like, you can't, if you're on the sidelines coaching, you're not going to be able to see that.
Well, it depends on if they're like floor seats. You know, like that's not what they're called in a sporting event, but you know, like the front, you're like behind home plate. Those plates, that area, that gateway is closer than the ones I'm normally in the fucking nosebleeds.
Nosebleeds, yeah, same. I don't know. That to me just seemed like a little sus. And then like if we're,
I mean, again, there's a lot of sus things we just gotta glaze over to get through the book.
Talking about glazing over. If you're a carpenter, you're not doing masonry. And if you're in the union, let me tell you, your break is like a half hour. It ain't 60 minutes. My husband's a union carpenter. He just journeyed. We're very excited. We're very proud of him. But I was like, hey, let me ask you a couple things. If you're doing like drywall and insulation, you're not doing masonry, right? He's like, no. And I was like, all right. And like in New York, breaks are the same length. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, cool. Nice. So there's that, which was fine. I mean, if we're going back to like things that don't make sense in Tessa Bailey books, My Killer Vacation
Oh, I mean,
And the residents are Cape Cod are not going to be like, we don't want tourists, so it's fine. But
I mean, even if the residents are, the governor, mayor, whatever, is not. That is their entire economy.
Yeah. So that being said, I did not enjoy this. I do not recommend it.
Oh, see, if you like Tessa Bailey to me, I would recommend it.
Because I loved
again,
My Killer Vacation and Habit One Summer so much. Like, this just felt like not great.
I would for sure. It Happened One Summer is still my favorite Tessa Bailey, followed by Hook, Line, Sinker. I'm now debating that.
It's fine. Listen,
whatever. It Happened One Summer is still my favorite.
That's all you need to know.
That's the one. That was very good, and I will continue reading all of them because I love her.
I've already pre-ordered the next one that's coming out in January,
I can't fucking wait. And then the sequel coming out in April. Can't wait.
So, like, just because we didn't I didn't like this doesn't mean like I'm writing Tessa Bailey off. I'm never ever going to do that.
She's amazing.
I'm really hoping she shows up to the Steamy Lit Con in August in Anaheim. It's good. It's fine. Whatever. We still love you. Just this one didn't do it for me. I gave it, I think, a 2.
Ooh. I give it a 4.5.
Ooh. Let me pull up my Goodreads.
What I have to do, again, I'm terrible at reviewing because I am too kind often. But I made a point.
I gave it a 3.
Beautiful. I make a point to make a review before I think too hard on it. Like, finishing the book, what were my end thoughts? Immediately. Go. Because then the longer I think about it, then I'll find the holes. Like, how the fuck did 3 men just decide to put aside their differences and date this woman?
I just want to read this. So I wrote a review on Goodreads. Go follow me there if you haven't. Also, Gabe is a terrible character. He's like a sad puppy with a goldfish brain. He's a giant oaf that seems like he's just there out of pity, which just sucks. Tobias, though, a gentleman and a scholar. I'm forever picking Tobias as the Tram Fam Team Captain.
Yep.
But yeah, no, if we got rid of Gabe, I probably would have bumped it up to like a 3.5. He just really killed it for me.
I was able to
He's just so dumb.
He had a lot. Yeah. And I feel like he didn't even really do anything spectacular in the bedroom either.
He came real quick.
Like,
the only time he had any type of promise is when he fucked her on the kitchen table after he confronted his brother, but that just seemed really weird as well to me. I was like, what is happening?
I cannot imagine a woman that alluring that, like, we gotta fuck her at all points in time. Multiple times a day. All day, every day.
Oh, that was my other thing, is like they're now like doing all of this stuff. I'm like, do you know anybody's last name?
Tobias's, because she's seen his dick before they even started this.
But, like, does she, though? Because that could have been a stage name.
You bring up a fair point.
I mean, she did Google them, so that's fine. But, like, the whole thing was just like, you don't know anything about them, and they are entering you from all of your holes.
From all of your holes. It took me, I think, I want to say, like, 5 to 10 pages to, like, figure out who was who, and like keep every time one other name come up, I'd be like, Tobias, the porn star, Banks, the coach, Gabe, the dum-dum. Like, every time I was like, their names would pop up like in a normal sentence, I'd be like, who's who? Okay, now that I got it sorted out, I figured it out. But like, it was a lot. Again, I loved it though. 4.5.
4.5.
Oh, we have to give it a mug. This is gonna be our hardest mug yet. You guys are gonna hear the fight. We have to agree on the mug. We can't give 2 mugs. Usually we kind of like even them out, but okay, I'm pulling up our rating scale. Dun, 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 dun. Rating. Oops, I don't want to create a new highlight. I want to see the old one.
Nope.
Rating. Okay, pause. So you gave it a 3. which is it's just not our cup of tea, but maybe you would like it. And a 4 is it was great, enjoyable, not super impactful, wouldn't read it again, but would recommend. So I feel like we're in the middle with a 3.5.
I would give it a 2 mug.
A 2 might hate it, might like some other parts, likely have to follow continuing issues, would likely not recommend.
I would give it a 2.
No, we gotta give it a 3 then.
Okay.
We gotta even out. We gotta pick a mug in the middle, and I would have gone with I would have probably given it a 3.754 mug, and you want to give it a 2, so we gotta meet in the middle at a 3.
Okay.
It's a 3 mugger.
Y'all, like, it's fine.
This was our biggest dispute yet. And you know what's funny? Our only other dispute was also Tessa Bailey.
I know. Oh my god. You know what I want to do though before we wrap up is I need to read some of these texts that I sent you when I was finishing it.
As I was sleeping.
Yeah, so it was Wednesday night? Tuesday night. All right, so I said
while she's scrolling to find them, I will tell you that so I got the book on the day it came out, and I think I started like a day or two afterwards. Megan's copy was not arriving. It like lost in the mail or some shit. Like it just took forever. And the whole time I was reading, I was like, I need you to read this book. I need you to read this book. I need you to read this book because I need to discuss it with you. And then she starts finally reading it, and I'm naturally dead to the world.
So she had gone to a BBB class, Booty by Brabants. Exercise class Tuesday night. So I started texting her at 9:30 when I couldn't sleep. And I said, I hope your class is magical. She just fucked Tobias on the roof, which like, yay Tobias, but this girl's life is a mess. And then I said, mute me because I'm just going to finish the book and text you the entire time. And I said, Banks's mom was right there. Like they're fucking on the roof. Banks's mom's there. If you want to have like a relationship with this man who you have like such a deep connection to, maybe hang out with his mom. I don't know. There's that.
Well, we don't necessarily like the mom yet. I would have had no problem leaving her in the stands.
Still. And then you were like, where are the cameras? I was like, oh, there are definitely cameras everywhere. You can't just go to the roof at Fox Road. Fuck. That's what you said.
Because again, I'm thinking the stadiums I've gone to, you cannot just get onto the roof. Like there are guards.
I said bullshit. Banks would check his phone while coaching, not for a second. Like he's like a very important rugby coach. And then I said her roommate Shayna, I think is the roommate's name, watches too much Dateline in 2020, which is fine. Don't buzz anyone in, never unlock the hook or the latch, and no men allowed. It's like a 1940s boarding house for single women. We do love her. That's fine. And then I said, I think Tessa hates Gabe too. She made him do too dumb to function. And that is like the third line in chapter 20. I'm going to read this. Nope, no. For once, Gabe is up to speed on proceedings and is the least bit happy. Like for once, he's up to speed. I'm like, she hates him too. Every time she says circle of 4, I think a square.
It's a triangle. There's no way in which 4 people are making a circle. It is either a square and she's involved on the outer edge, or the way I was picturing it is that she's in the middle, sandwiched between the 3 of them, and therefore they are a triangle, and Elise is in the middle.
Either
geometry. It's not a circle.
Not a circle. I think she called Tobias a wise master of hidden kinks, which made me laugh. Then I got really annoyed with Gabe, and I was like, oh my god, Gabe, just fucking move. And then I said, I'm in love with Tobias, and I don't know what page it was, but they like something happened. I don't want to like spoil it too much, but something happened, and they all had.
You don't want to spoil it too much. We've already given away the whole book.
I mean, the 10% plot, I don't want to ruin for people. But something
they have to have listened to it
Elise.
to listen to this podcast. I mean, they had to have read it.
Maybe they just want to hear us like bicker about.
They don't
Happenstance.
give a shit about why chooses. They're just here for
They're
us.
like, what are these crazy chaotic bitches doing? Something happens to Elise. They all have to like rush out of the house to go find her. Tobias forgot to put a shirt on. It just made me laugh.
He's fantastical. That was also the point in the book when I hated Tobias. I wanted to throttle him.
I did not. I never.
Not
did.
because of the shirt.
No,
because
I know
of the fight leading up to it.
His overreaction, but also he is being emotionally vulnerable for the first time in a very long time, and that's yes, communication is healthy, but you're gonna react in a way.
In the end, it was still Elise who was a dumb.
And it was Elise who left.
Ran off.
She's
an idiot who has no sort of
sense in her head.
No, just like, again, there's nothing
there.
Nothing calling me to love Elise.
And then my last text about this book was finished. Still hate Gabe. Banks' mother is a whole other thing. Glad Shayna is her best friend, I guess. Tobias forever.
Tobias forever.
Yeah. And that's what I got.
That's Happenstance.
That was Happenstance. So review will be up at some point around this episode.
I can't wait. Are we gonna do a cocktail for it? Ooh.
Are we gonna have to do 4 cocktails?
No,
for it?
no, we're never doing multiple cocktails again. That was too much. What I was gonna say is that we could do like a scorpion bowl type cocktail with 4 straws.
Yes.
Because that was a lot making.
That was a lot.
2 cocktails for an episode, and then it barely fit in the 90-second time frame the rules allow us to. So, one cocktail that they're sharing, or I have another thought. My thought was we could do an Elise cocktail with 3 straws that the 3 men are sharing.
Ew.
I mean, that's the book, is it not? That's the whole thing.
That's the book.
Ugh.
It's fine. That was Happenstance. Go check it out from your local library.
We promise at some point we will find a book that we both I mean, you know what it is, and we haven't recorded yet, and I think we are saving this recording. It's like we can't bring ourselves to do it. The book that we're both going to hype the fuck up is ACOTAR.
Yeah.
The series in general, specifically Crescent City. But that'll be the one. Like, we haven't had one yet that we've both thoroughly loved. I guess, well, Evelyn Hugo,
pretty much. I mean, Allie Hazelwood stuff.
True.
We've loved.
Okay, fine. We are nicer than I thought. I thought we were being really mean.
Hellfire.
Oh my god, it was so loud.
God,
so
ears.
Sorry. I can't wait. I'm still so excited to do our Hellfire reread leading up to the second book, and we're gonna do all of the cocktails. Will just revolve around Hellfire for like at least a month or 2.
It's fine.
I'm so excited about it. I still want an arc.
I know you do.
But I also want her to come to the rom-com. Mers, please.
But until that time comes, happy reading, my friends.
Happy reading. Cheers.
Cheers.
We didn't do the thing.
Listen, it's okay. It's fine.
We can never remember if we're doing the cheers or the rating thing last. Whatever.
We usually cheers and then rate and then cheers. Again, because we're psychos. It's fun.
We did the first cheers. So if you liked this episode, please like it, rate it, and subscribe. Mm-hmm. If you did not like it, that is totally cool. You can just send us a DM and let us know what you didn't like. But please do not rate us because we're fragile. That's fine.
And that's cool. And just, send this episode to all of the Tessa Bailey fans in your life. Let us know if you
do we want that. We're inviting hate in.
No, we're not. We're inviting respectful dialogue. Do you agree with Jax? Do you agree with Megs? Do you think that it was all spice, no plot? Do you think the plot was fine? Were there things about it that you loved or hated and we didn't mention? Let us know. Are you Team Gabe? Don't be. It's fine.
Please be Team Tobias. Team Banks. I mean, Banks. I liked Banks.
Banks is fine. He's just like he's a little stressed.
He gave me the Duke from Bridgerton vibes.
That's how she described him, yeah. I'm glad you got those vibes, because that's how she described him in the book.
I haven't had an original thought a day in my life. Please cut this whole thing.
No. I am beet red. Oh, God. Oh. Okay, guys. That's it. We're done.
I had to dry my face. This is where we take the screenshot. Oh my god.
This is amazing. This is definitely the clip for Instagram.
This is just us dying.
Oh my god.
I can't stop. All right, we're just gonna close it out because I'm gonna keep crying.
Happy reading.